Hey, what's up, nerds? Today we're diving into one of the most controversial topics in the entire Magic the Gathering community, the reserve list. Yep, that 30-year-old promise that some players treat like sacred scripture and others curse like a critical mana screw. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because I'm about to explain how the reserve list just might be the linchpin in Magic's ongoing success. First off, let's tackle the most common argument against the reserve list: money. People love to say that it's a cash grab, a way to keep prices inflated for collectors. But here's the thing: the reserve list is less about hoarding value than it is about maintaining trust. Back in 1996, Wizards of the Coast was facing a very different world, and that's kind of hard to wrap your head around if you weren't even a zygote then. The secondary market was already taking off, with early sets like Alpha, Beta, and Unlimited becoming sought-after collectors' items. People had just started to see Magic cards as not just game pieces, but, yeah, the dirty word, investments. Love it or hate it, that's always been part of the game. Maybe not your part, but it exists, and it's not going away. Wizards promised not to reprint certain cards to protect the investment of their early adopters. That was that. I did a video about that. Think about this. If a company goes back on a decades-long promise to protect the value of customers' collections, what message does this send to the current player base? It tells them that no investment is safe and nothing they own is sacred, and that Wizards is just another faceless corporation looking to cash in at the expense of its most loyal fans. Hasbro, yeah, is trying to drive that into the ground. We're not there yet. I have hope. Next up, we got to talk about the secondary market, of course. The reserve list cards are the backbone of the economy, like the Wall Street blue chips of cardboard crack. Take away the reserve list and you risk collapsing the entire structure. Prices for cards like Black Lotus, Mox Sapphire, and even niche reserve list darlings like Moat or Tabernacle of Pendle Vale are held up in part by the absolute certainty that they won't be reprinted. I mean, as tournament legal cards at least. Destroy that certainty and you might just tank the entire secondary market. A robust secondary market is crucial for maintaining healthy primary market prices because it establishes a tangible ongoing demand for a product long after its initial sale. Now that's just a lot of like economist speak for, hey man, you wouldn't get singles sold on TCG Player if it wasn't for a secondary market. When buyers know that their cards can retain or even increase in value, they are more likely to spend money on sealed products, single cards, and premium editions, directly supporting the primary market. I mean, think about it with, you can still see some of my Lego here. I'm getting rid of all of it. But Legos for one, the prices generally go up and that makes people willing to spend more money in the first place on a product. That's what makes people willing to spend $500 for a collector's booster box of the Final Fantasy set that's upcoming. That's always been part of the game. People often forget the health of this secondary market is one of the reasons Magic has outlasted so many other card games. Collectability drives a significant chunk of this game's cultural staying power. Without it, Magic risks of just becoming another TCG that burned it bright for a decade and then faded into obscurity like so many others. The reserved list cards are crown jewels, the prize pieces, and they're what keeps whales, collectors, and even some hardcore players invested over the long haul. But it's not just about cold hard cash. It's about perception. Wizards has spent years building Magic's reputation as the premium trading card game. People don't shell out thousands of dollars for cardboard rectangles just because they're powerful in a game. They just don't. They do it because the cards are rare, historic, and carry a certain mystique. The reserved list enforces that. It's what makes Magic feel special, like a club with a velvet rope and a big bouncer. It's the same reason people pay absurd prices for first edition comic books or vintage action figures. It's not rational, but it's undeniably real. Finally, the reserve list is about legacy. Magic isn't just a game, it's a cultural phenomenon. It's been around for over 30 years, survived multiple near-death experiences. I've talked about some of those. And it's outlived countless imitators. Just look at an old copy of a Scry or Inquest magazine and you're like, what, that was the name of a game? The reserved list is a reminder of history, a promise kept in a world where promises are often broken. It's a relic of a different time, and that gives it weight. We talk a lot about how Magic is evolving, with everything from Universes Beyond and Secret Lairs changing the face of the game. But in a world where IP crossovers and flashy reprints are the new normal, the reserve list stands as a testament to the game's roots. Some of those cards that are on the reserve list wouldn't even fit into the game today. It's a reminder of what Magic used to be. A bit wilder, a bit rougher around the edges, and a whole lot more unpredictable. So before you jump on the abolish the reserve list bandwagon, I'm sure I'll get plenty of comments before people even watch the video. Consider this. It's not just a list of cards, it's a piece of Magic's DNA. It's a promise to the early adopters who took a chance on a scrappy little card game in the early 90s. It's a backbone for the secondary market that keeps the game financially healthy, and it's a symbol of trust in a community that often feels like it's being pulled in a dozen different directions by corporate overlords and market trends. Anybody feel like that? Maybe the reserve list isn't perfect. Maybe it's frustrating, but it's also one of the reasons Magic has lasted as long as it has. So yeah, I'm defending it. Someone has to. If you still like Magic, you gotta thank it at least a little bit. Thanks for watching, nerds. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your hottest takes in the comments below. I'm sure that this will be a spicy one because everybody loves the reserve list. Take care out there. Have a great week. You guys are awesome. Stay nerdy.